Guys, look what I have today. This is the newly launched Samsung Galaxy A33 5G, which is the successor to last year's Galaxy A32. If you remember, the Galaxy A32 came in both 5G and 4G variants, but looks like Samsung has decided to go with a 5G variant only this year, at least for now. The Galaxy A33 5G starts at £330 in Europe, while its price in other regions is yet unknown. As always, that European pricing is certainly higher, but I am guessing that it'll be slightly more affordable in South Asian regions like Nepal and India. In any case, the phone will be available in 6 and 8GB RAM models with 128GB internal storage. Compared to last year's not-so-convincing A32 4G, Samsung has brought quite a few changes on the Galaxy A33. First off, you get a new and improved Exynos 1280 chipset, you get better software support, more camera features, alongside 25-watt fast charging. Although it's worth noting that you don't get the charger inside the box. Honestly, I think removing chargers from smartphone boxes, especially on lower mid-range phones like this one, is one of the craziest smartphone trends to pop up recently. But sadly, looks like it's here to stay, and because there is practically just the phone and a cable inside A33's box, let me skip the unboxing part entirely and get straight to talking about the phone itself. Okay, looking at the phone, it's clear that Samsung does not want the A33 to look like your typical mid-range phone. And the company surely seems to be portraying its A series as a more premium lineup of products. As a result, its design is pretty similar to the more expensive Galaxy A53. In fact, these two phones share the same form factor too. And just like the Galaxy A53, Samsung has made sure to include IP67 dust and water resistance here, which is just great. The only visible difference you will find among them is that the A33 has matte frames while the A53's frames are glossy, which in my opinion looks more premium. Now, that does not mean the Galaxy A53 feels bad on the hands or anything. It indeed feels much superior to last year's Galaxy A32, and I like how Samsung has gone with this seamless camera bump design on the phone this year. The only complaint from my side is this teardrop notch up front. In real life usage, it is not obtrusive at all, but it certainly looks outdated for 2022. Okay, more about the display. The Galaxy A33 has a 6.4 inches Super AMOLED screen with a 90Hz refresh rate. Now, I know that these display specs sound very basic for the price, but A33 screen is actually quite impressive. And this is something most people skip discussing, but in my experience, I've always found Samsung's color optimization in its displays to be superior to what other brands provide. So viewing content here is a really good experience. Plus, the phone comes with dual speakers complemented by Dolby Atmos audio, so the sound quality is pretty great too. And let me tell you, its audio output is quite loud and crisp, although the highs are a bit too pronounced sometimes. Also, I found the 90Hz refresh rate to be implemented quite well, which is generally not the case with mid-range phones from brands like Xiaomi, Realme, and others. I hardly noticed any stutters in the UI or when scrolling through my social media pages. The display also houses an optical in-display fingerprint sensor. Now, this is not the fastest sensor on a mid-range device, but it's a reliable one nonetheless. And if you would like it to work a little faster, I would suggest you turn off the animation entirely. Supporting the performance is Samsung's in-house 5nm based Exynos 1280 chipset. With this, the performance side of things has seen a massive improvement over the A32 4G's Helio G80 or even the Dimensity 720 in A32 5G for that matter. The Exynos 1280's performance is somewhere between the Snapdragon 750G and the Dimensity 920. In general usage, I've found the performance on this thing to be quite fast. Apps open quickly and multitasking with several apps is no issue either. Gaming too, for the most part, is good if not great. You can play PUBG Mobile in HD graphics and high frame rates with little to no stutters, which by the way is the max setting for the game here. Call of Duty plays smoothly in medium graphics and very high frame rates as well. Since I have only been using this phone for about a day, I haven't been able to properly test out its full gaming capabilities, but I will surely give you all the details in my full review, so stay tuned for that. Software-wise, you get Android 12 out of the box here with Samsung's One UI 4.1 on top. And just like their flagship phones, Samsung has committed to 4 years of major platform and 5 years of security updates on the Galaxy A33 as well, which is undeniably awesome, especially for a mid-range phone. In terms of cameras, you get 4 of them at the back, a 48 megapixel primary lens with OIS, and 8 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel macro, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, while the front houses a 13 megapixel sensor for selfies. Looking strictly at the megapixel count, these cameras sure seem like a downgrade over the last gen Galaxy A32, but from my initial impressions, I found A33's cameras to be pretty reliable. There's good color reproduction and decent details from its primary cameras, although you can see some boosted whites in some cases. Human subjects look good enough too, while the camera is able to maintain background exposure quite well. Yet, the ultra-wide-angle images are not that impressive, with noticeable muddiness when zooming in. Likewise, selfies from the 13 megapixel front camera are not the most detailed, but they're fine for casually shooting a picture or two. Even the nighttime photos are not that sharp here, but night mode does help in maintaining exposure, cleaning out the noise, and maintaining details very well. And it does not take that long to process either, so that's something new on a Samsung mid-range phone. Video-wise, unlike the Galaxy A32, which was locked at 1080p 30fps, the A33 can shoot at up to 4K 30fps from both the front and back cameras, where the video quality is nice and crisp. But don't expect any form of stabilization here. Even in 1080p 60fps, the videos don't come out that steady, which is really sad to see on a phone with OIS. However, natively 1080p 30fps videos come out with great stabilization. For more stable videos, you can turn on the super steady mode, but the resolution is limited to 1080p 30fps and it degrades the video quality by a lot. Lastly, getting to the battery, just like last year, Samsung has included a hefty 5000 mAh cell here. Samsung claims that the Galaxy A33's battery can last up to 2 days, and in my usage, the battery life has been pretty good until now. It's been around a day that I have been using this phone, and the battery has not died yet, so I'm guessing it should provide really good endurance, especially considering its AMOLED screen and the energy-efficient 5nm chipset inside. And like I mentioned earlier, the phone has 25-watt fast charging support. Using a proprietary 25-watt Samsung charger, the phone goes from 0 to 100% in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. So to conclude, the Galaxy A33 seems like a good upgrade from the Galaxy A32. But at the same time, it's worth noting that the price of this phone has inflated by quite a bit compared to last year as well. In fact, if you consider the European pricing, the A33 costs almost the same as the Galaxy A52 4G at its launch. Of course, various factors like chipset shortage and 5G democratization are responsible for this price bump, and we also have to keep in mind that you don't get a charger inside the box, and buying one further increases the cost of the phone. Even so, if the Galaxy A33 is priced at around 20 to 22,000 Indian rupees, it can be a good deal for most people who are looking for a balanced mid-range phone. So guys, that was all for my initial impressions of the newly launched Samsung Galaxy A33 5G. If you have any questions regarding the device, don't forget to pin it down in the comments below. And I will be coming up with its full review pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Till then, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.